Over a year ago last March, many ministers, rapidly learned new skills, totally altered their workflow, timetables and output to try to meet the needs of their people in a lockdown. I had to explain this today to a farmer in a livestock market who thought I'd probably been pretty much on holiday during COVID. I told him what I now get up to every day, and he changed his mind a little bit. For many of us, it's not just that we weren't very tech savvy, but that we didn't have the sub-skills or cognitive abilities out of which to assemble technological competence. And to mangle an old saying, if you ask a fish to climb a tree, he will find it tiring. I'm certainly not putting a case out here for the particular pressure ministers are under, so many of us, in all manner of lines of work, found ourselves working much longer days during the lockdown. But then, a few months back, the government in Westminster seemed to decide that enough was enough and COVID could go away now, so they started to dismantle the lockdown. But the ministers' work patterns are not going back to the old normal. And hybrid working for us now means catering for people still living in virtual isolation, using all the new ways of working that we've developed, and returning to the old pattern of work alongside all of that. Can you see what's happened there? There's now an expectation from one part of the people we serve that we'll maintain all the online and innovative stuff we pioneered through lockdown, and simultaneously from the other part, there's an expectation to return to producing the old programs alongside the new pattern of provision permanently now, all the time. Most of us are crash busy before, but now, it's crazy. It's akin to asking for bricks without straw, is that? And there's an Old Testament story about that, which is quite good reading. It's asking, you see, for what's beyond human strength, and humanity can only manage so much. It was into the most demanding of contexts in the 700s BC that God spoke, prioritizing downtime with him in times just like these. Through Isaiah, the Lord spoke like this: Have you not known? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He does not faint or grow weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the faint and strengthens the powerless. Even youths will faint and be weary, and the young will be exhausted. But those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength, mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. That's Isaiah 40, 28-31. So the prophet, speaking under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, headlines his message with the contrast between the Lord and his people. The Lord is the everlasting God and creator of the ends of the earth. He is strong enough to be put in a shift, as Isaiah says, without either growing physically faint and weary or running out of intellectual capacity through exhaustion. And, as if arising from that, Isaiah explains that the tireless, all-powerful creator is different in this respect from the strongest of his human creation, because even youths and the young run out of steam. But the remedy for that lies in waiting for the Lord, who we've just been told doesn't. Waiting for the Lord. The Hebrew word for wait used here covers hope with its biblical dimension of certainty, waiting, akin to patience, and resting, that is, trusting. The form of the original language points to those in whom this relationship of hope, patience, and trust in the Lord is consistent and constant. So here's the outcome then of waiting for the Lord. The benefits for those people are clearly stated. They shall renew their strength, they shall mount up with wings like eagles, they shall run and not be weary, they shall walk and not be faint. Renewed strength. A different strength which is not natural, as if people could grow wings and fly high. Divine strength, such that it is evident that the God who never grows weary is its giver. A person still living according to their own natural strength is not like God, but the believer becomes like God as the unwearying, unfainting strength of God enters into them and supplies inner resources that do not fail before life's demands. As Alec Motcher put it, inner resources that do not fail before life's demands. Sounds good. Here's the point. Even youths faint and become weary. Even persons in their prime will feel exhausted. But the person of whatever age, gender, background, or disposition, actively hoping, waiting patiently on, and trusting in the God of the covenant name for God, Yahweh, is what's used here, that person will be flying, not fainting. Here's the takeaway. The fact of living in this world is that it's going to grind you down. But it doesn't grind God the Creator down, because he is the one with the strength that could authoritatively command the whole world into being in the first place. And the strength that made creation is still his. And yet, because he's the covenant-making and covenant-keeping God, he doesn't keep his resources to himself, but shares strength with those who lack strength, yet consistently lean on him. So the takeaway is this: take time out to lean on him.